Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's been a while since I talked in front of a bunch of people, but see if I can get back in the groove. A little bit about me. Most of you guys know that I'm an Army veteran, so I kind of use that into my business. Kind of target market the the people who support the military and stuff like that. So it's been real beneficial for us. I served with 3rd Ranger Battalion, 652 Air Defense Artillery, and then 75th Ranger Regiment. My previous experience that got me into the business was my B2B sales for AT&T and other places, car sales. We had talked about that on our one-to-one. And operations manager, where I went from a maid service, construction cleanup company, and then finally window clean company. I saw the lucrative comparison as far as the income for each of those cleaning businesses, decided to go for it myself. So like I said before, I wanted a military themed business. I've always wanted to run a business. It's kind of half the reason why I got out of the Army. I wanted to do it. I was kind of proud of what I did, and just kind of wanted to put it out there. So so the rest of my life, if I can't be in the Army, I'll just play Army. So hence the OD color. We had changed it from gray to green, and then kind of went old style. But we like it, and we're actually working with TJ on our logo to get it revamped, and I guess vectored and all that. I don't know. That's your stuff. So D.I. Joe is a subsidiary of Ranger Cleaning Services. With my wide experience in cleaning services, I actually want to go into, the other areas. But right now, our main focus is window cleaning. So we do window cleaning for residential, commercial. We go up. We do commercial up to 4 stories. We have certain equipment that we use for our process. We'll either hand wash it, hand wash it old style. Mop and squeegee. I'm sure you guys have kind of seen that. The first time I heard mop and squeegee, I was thinking like a floor mop, because I didn't know anything about window cleaning. But it's actually, like an 18-inch T-bar with a fabric on it. You use soap and water to get it off. That's pretty much the long way of doing it. The preferred way is using our DI system, hence the name D.I. Joe. It's kind of a rip-off from G.I. Joe, but,
Really?
You couldn't get it. So, it works. It was catchy, and then we added our slogan, which is Brighten Your Day the Ranger Way. So, anyways, so we use our DI system. Our deionization, we call it DI, but it's basically removal of charged atoms or molecules from the water. It passes through mixed bed resin. It super purifies the water, takes all the ions out, and so when it's on the glass, it rinses, and then it dries spotless. A good comparison would be everybody's taking their cars into car wash, and they have that one lever that says spotless wash. Same chemical, just not as concentrated as what we use. Some of you have seen the machine, but you want to pass these around. It's just a small picture of the equipment that we started or that we use. I didn't start it using that equipment until well into my first year. Probably when I first started, I started off with a mop and bucket, the bare minimum. So the process of our window cleaning, we come to your house, or we come to the customer's house for residential. We introduce ourselves, we move all the screens from the house, and we set it to the side. Remove cobwebs from around the windows and doorways. We decide whether we're going to use the conventional method of mop and squeegee and the DI system. And usually we try to use the DI system. The DI system usually cleans better. The cleans last a little longer, kind of gives it that Rain-X effect. So when we're scrubbing the glass, the DI actually cleans around the borders, which gets all that dirt from out there. And construction guys, I know you guys have seen the windows kind of breaking down, the seals breaking down. That's basically based off the dirt that gets caught up in there. And just like, carpets, when that dirt is on there, it's gonna be abrasive. It acts like sandpaper. So it's gonna cut whatever seals are in there, and cause leaks, especially if you have the double pane windows where, if you have that gas inside it. And once that seal breaks and air gets in there, then the glass is pretty much ruined. Restoration for those are pretty expensive. The biggest restoration company I know in Orlando won't even take jobs less than $50,000. So usually people just wind up replacing the glass. So back to the deionization, we'll either drip or hand dry the windows. Like I said, the DI, once it's used, it's a spotless wash. So once we clean it, brush it and rinse it, we move on, it'll dry spotless. Sometimes we gotta go back and double check those. But we want our customers to be happy. The last thing that we do before we ask for your check is we give the glass a polish, and that's something that most window cleaning companies don't do. Is they might go back and touch up with a rag, but we actually go through and polish. And the steel wool polish is safe enough for the glass, but abrasive enough to remove paint, some water spots, like Pam's. But as far as those water spots, depending on how long they're on there and depending how they get on there, usually from sprinklers, the sun cooks that water droplet with the deposits in there, and that's what etches into the glass. So after that, after it etches and dries, you have those little white spots that look like snowflakes. So the only way to get those off is using some kind of abrasive or a chemical, and we do chemical treatments. It's not guaranteed to work every time because like I said, it's just a treatment. It's a weak sulfuric acid, so there is chances of damage. As soon as we start using that stuff, I can feel the fumes burning on my face. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But usually, when you have to go the abrasive route, you have to start sanding, and I'm just not gonna get into that. So. Back to window cleaning. After we do the polish, we take all the screens, we hand clean those with a soapy brush, soft brush. We dry those by hand, and then we put all the screens back in. We do inside and out. I know on LBL, somebody had caught that when they promoted or welcomed me into the LBL, they said outside only or whatever, and somebody corrected them from here. We do in and out. So, and that's for commercial and residential. We are still looking for commercial accounts. I just hired another cleaner. He's part-time, but I want to keep him busy. So that's kind of the route that we're going. Our busy season usually runs from September to mid-January. So we're going to be very busy, and I'm hoping to bring on more people, especially veterans that are partly disabled, or no, I shouldn't say partly, but that are able to go out there and work for a few hours and stuff like that. So I'm just talking about that. All right. Well, I guess that's pretty much it. One of my main goals, like Pam had said, is my future goal is to franchise D.I. Joe. And my main focus is to maybe franchise to transitioning veterans that are getting out and haven't found their niche. It took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to do. I bounced around, and I'm happy doing this. As soon as I heal up, I'll be back out in the field. And right now I just have to concentrate on PT and keeping my belly down and not trying to outgrow these small shirts. So if anybody has any questions especially about the DI system, yes.
Question, do you do those all weather, like vinyl type?
We do
windows?
vinyl windows, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The best, I'll give you guys a tip. The best thing to clean the vinyl windows or plastics like that, or is what's that silk soap called? I can't remember. Woolite.
Really?
Yes, Woolite. So,
You know,
anyways, that's my 10 minutes. Anybody have any questions? Any other questions? All right.
Tony, you said free estimates?
I do free estimates, yes. Yep, and we operate from Orlando to Tampa, so it's kind of a drive, but
You said you don't always do the DI system. Why wouldn't you do it on all windows?
sometimes it's quicker, like if the window's pretty big, or, you know, we like to use it for the small windows. You know, if the French style, colonial style windows, they take a lot to clean, and it's hard to clean the frames, and, you know, there's just so many. So if we use the DI for that, then it's faster, it gives it more of a better clean. But when they're big, simple windows, you know, pulling out that tank and washing the windows with that just takes a little longer. So sometimes it's faster if we just go do it by hand.
Do you still use DI water like in your spray bottle or something?
We use it in our bucket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we save up some water, some DI water, and then we use that in the bucket. But we don't always use it. It just it helps with the slickness of the squeegee. But if you're not using the resin, especially in Central Florida has very hard water. So if you're not using some kind of softener to like wash your cars, your bikes, boats, whatever, you're gonna get that water deposit on there on your stuff when it dries. So, you know, if you're not at least rinsing it with DI water, you might want to look into a water softener.
Why don't we know a plumber who could put one of those in?
Oh yeah. Thank you, everybody.